Welcome to this tutorial on Kotlin's inline classes, also known as value classes. These are special wrapper types that provide compile-time type safety without any runtime performance overhead. In other words, you get all the benefits of strong typing during development, but your code runs as if you were using primitive types directly. This is a powerful feature for writing safer code that's still blazingly fast. Let's first understand why we need inline classes. When you create a regular data class like userid that wraps an integer, Kotlin creates actual wrapper objects at runtime. Every time you instantiate this class, memory gets allocated for a new object. This adds overhead in terms of both memory usage and performance. For applications that create thousands or millions of these wrapper objects, this overhead can become significant. Value classes solve this problem elegantly. By adding the @JVM inline annotation and using the value class keyword instead of data class, you tell the compiler to inline this class. At compile time, the compiler checks that you're using userid correctly, preventing type mismatches. But at runtime, the wrapper disappears completely, and only the underlying integer value remains. You get zero runtime overhead while maintaining full type safety during development. Here's what actually happens behind the scenes. At compile time, your code uses the full userid type, which means the compiler can catch type errors and enforce type safety. But when your code is compiled to bytecode, the wrapper is eliminated. At runtime, only the primitive integer value exists in memory. The wrapper class effectively has zero cost because it only exists during compilation, not during execution. To create a value class, you must follow certain rules. First, it must have exactly one property in the primary constructor, marked with val. Second, you need the @JVM inline annotation for JVM platform compatibility. Third, the property must be immutable, meaning you use val, not var. And finally, you cannot have initialization blocks or backing fields. These restrictions ensure that the compiler can safely inline the class at runtime. One of the most common use cases for value classes is creating type-safe identifiers. Imagine you have both user IDs and product IDs in your application, both represented as integers. Without value classes, it's easy to accidentally pass a product ID where a user ID is expected. By wrapping them in separate value classes, the compiler prevents these mistakes at compile time. And because they're value classes, you pay zero runtime cost for this added safety. Value classes aren't just simple wrappers. You can add methods and computed properties to them, just like regular classes. For example, this password value class includes an isStrong method that checks if the password meets length requirements, and a masked method that returns asterisks instead of the actual password. These methods provide convenient functionality while still maintaining zero runtime overhead for the wrapper itself. It's important to understand when value classes lose their zero-cost property. Boxing occurs in four main scenarios: when used as generic type arguments in collections, when declared as nullable types, when used through interface references, or when assigned to the any type. In these situations, the value class must be wrapped in an actual object at runtime, which reintroduces the overhead we were trying to avoid. So be mindful of these cases when designing your code.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.